Getting in breaking inputs as we are learning that US President Donald Trump has now made a bizarre analogy about the US airstrikes that were conducted on Iran just a week ago. And during the NATO summit in The Hague, Donald Trump compared the strike on Iran to the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. The US President noted that something similar happened with Tehran. Listen in to what the US President had to say, that too at the NATO summit.
I don't want to use an example of Hiroshima. I don't want to use an example of Nagasaki. But that was essentially the same thing. That ended that war. This ended that with a war. If we didn't take that out, they'd be fighting right now.
All right, let's quickly go across to Akash, who will put this into perspective for us. Akash, the US President comparing the airstrikes on Iran with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. How is this now going to play out for the United States on an international stage? Remember, he's at the NATO summit when he made those comments.
This is not something new that Donald Trump, because we have seen in the past that involved in such comments, and specifically when it is about the activities that happen in the.
All right. So we'll try and reconnect with Akash, but as of now, what we can say is this is a deeply problematic analogy for which the entire international stage, including nations like Japan, have time and again condemned the United States as far as the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are concerned. And so to bring that analogy now, that too at a very critical meeting which is currently taking place in The Hague in the Netherlands, which is at the NATO summit, is going to now question the wider position being maintained not just by the United States but also by the West. That includes European Union, which, remember, is trying to mediate talks between Iran and the wider West, including the United States. And if Donald Trump had even drawn analogies with, say, the war in Afghanistan or Iraq, perhaps one could have still understood those analogies, but the comparison with Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings is what is going to now perhaps also draw comparisons of Donald Trump with any dictator around the globe. And those comments coming in from the US President at the NATO summit.